Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington, an original shark from Shark Tank. Ultimate Bundles connects you with the best teachers online.
So strategies that I'm discovering that I think will be big in the future to look at this question. Email being the base, one of the things that we work on a lot is more evergreen funnels. So that includes email. When people come into our list, if they opt in for the first time, they go through about 6 weeks of pretty intense emails that are designed, that include lots of opportunities to purchase our products, but also are designed to get people to either do one of two things, to raise their hand and say, yes, I love this girl, or to raise their hand and say, you know what, I want out. And we give them lots of opportunities to get out in that whole thing. And that's been really amazing. So that helps give us a lot more just continuity to the business. So because we're constantly pouring people into our funnel, and the way that we use blogging and podcasting and everything else that we do, those are all marketing strategies. So people look at blogging as my blog is my business. And we do not look at it that way. That is not at all how I look at my blog. My blog is not my business. My blog is one of the assets of my business. And it's a great asset. Living While Spending Less still gets a ton of traffic. We have all of these different marketing strategies that we're using, and the benefit of having a popular blog or a popular podcast. You could do the same thing with a YouTube channel. You could even do the same thing. Instagram influencers are doing the same thing. But the benefit of all of those things is that is your marketing channel. That is how you're drawing people in. So you could either pay for advertising and pay for those leads to come in, or you can use something free and organic like a blog or a podcast and have those leads come in. So if you listen to the podcast, you know that there are several different times throughout the podcast that I mention, hey, go to this website and get our show notes, or get this, or get this. And we have all these different freebies that people can opt in for. And the purpose of that is, again, to get people onto the list where then we can do something with it. We're really excited about the potential of doing Pinterest ads and doing some advertising instead of just doing them to lead magnets, doing them straight to sales pages for lower priced products that are converting really well, but also driving a lot of people into our list and into the bigger funnel. And then the other thing that we've been working on lately is a membership community or a coaching program that we launched.
So there's all of these different things you could do to be successful at blogging or to make money through your business. So how do you find and choose the ones that are really right for you and then say no to the others?
It's hard. So I like to say you go through different stages in your blogging. So you first go through the just figuring it out stage, right? When you're just starting, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to do WordPress. I don't know how all this stuff works. What is social media? How do I do this? And that's the part where you're just like pulling at your hair, trying to figure it out. How do I get people to listen to me? What am I doing? And that comes up all the time. And then you sort of get into the next phase, which is what I call the throwing spaghetti against the wall phase. And that phase is really, really important because this is the phase where you're trying all the things. You're, first of all, throwing spaghetti against the wall. When you throw spaghetti against the wall, you have to see if it's going to stick. When it's ready, it sticks to the wall. So just in case that doesn't make any sense when it's ready. And so sometimes you have to throw multiple strands before you find one that sticks. Yes. So you're figuring out what's going to work with traffic. You're figuring out what's going to work with revenue, and you're trying different things. And that's really important. So the problem, though, for a lot of bloggers is that they get stuck in this throwing phase where they're constantly throwing new things, and this person's saying this thing, oh my gosh, I have to try this, and this person's saying this thing, and I got to try this, and I got to keep up on all the things, and I got to do all the things, and I'm so busy trying to do all the things that you never stop to actually look and go, oh, that's the thing that's stuck. I think I'm going to do more of that. And if you don't do that, if you don't stop to see what's working, you'll continually be spinning. You'll be on the treadmill forever. And I watch that happen a lot. And you don't have to be. The key is to start to pay attention to what's actually working. And I think that was really the turning point for for me in my business was when I started paying attention to what worked. I published my first book, and all of a sudden that was my first product. And I made a bunch of money, even though it was super cheap when I first put it out there, but I made a bunch of money, more money than I had made in ads. And I was like, maybe I should have more products. And so I started creating more products. I was like, these make a lot more money than what I was doing before. And I started to do the things that were working. And so when you find the right strategy for your blog, you have to then let go of some of the other stuff. The piece of advice that I would go back and give myself is that nobody else knows what they're doing either. Everybody's just making it up as they go along. And so I think when I was less experienced, less confident than I am now, I would look around and feel like everyone else had it figured out. Everyone else knew what they were doing. Everyone else had some secret that nobody was sharing with me. Maybe that was my inner outcast coming out. I don't know. But I always thought, like, there's this secret blogging club and there's this secret society, and I'm not part of it. And I don't know how to break in. And I don't know, I wish that somebody could tell me what I need to know to do this right and to figure it out. But the thing is, it's still a very new industry, and there's way more help now and way more guidance now and way more people talking about what to do now than there was earlier in my career, where there was literally nothing. But even then, it's a very fast changing world. Things are constantly changing. And the people who are successful are the ones who are willing to try things, see if it works, and do more of it, or if it doesn't work, do less of it and try something else. Those are the people that are successful. And I wish I would have known that, I think, from the beginning, because I think I doubted myself a lot. I would constantly feel like, oh, I don't know if I should do this. And as soon as I started trusting my gut and just going for it, that's when my business really took off. The biggest leverage of my blog into other opportunities is realizing and coming to that realization that my blog was not my business itself. Like, I used to look at my blog as my business, and then realizing I'm not a blogger, I'm an entrepreneur. My blog is one of my assets. I have different blogs, I have multiple assets. And then going, how can I use this asset to leverage what I'm doing to do more and different things, to expand my reach, to make more money. So yeah, I've done lots of different things. I've written 6 books so far. 3 of them have been self-published, and 3 of them have been published with a traditional publisher. And so I could talk probably for the next half an hour or longer about the differences between self-publishing and going with a traditional publisher. There's pluses and minuses to both. Suffice to say, I prefer self-publishing and would recommend that first before you go with a traditional publisher. And I'll also say that my self-published books have sold more copies than my traditional published books, just in case you're wondering, and they've made a lot more money. I think the funny thing is, and I think this is a really important thing too, this is one of the best pieces of advice that I ever got in my entire business career. It came from Dan Miller, and I was at a conference, and he said, every time somebody asks me a question 3 times, or every time I get the same question 3 times, I create a product for that, to answer that question. And I started applying that to my business. And I can honestly tell you that every single product in my business, every single thing that I do in my business has come as a direct result of the things people were asking me for. And I think that's ultimately, that's what the power of blogging is. And I will shout this from the rooftops, because there's always this kind of like, is blogging still a thing? Is that still relevant? Do people still have blogs anymore? Isn't that like so 1996 or whatever people say? Because I get that. And I'm in a lot of different like internet marketing spaces, and they kind of look down on bloggers like, you guys don't really know what's going on. And that's not like what I believe, and what I have found is that no matter what type of platform you decide to build, so whether it's on a traditional blog, whether it's an Instagram following, whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it's a podcast, all of those really are the same thing as blogging. It's all content marketing. Any of those things. If you can build an audience, if you can be authentic and be real and create something of value that people will connect to, which is your content. Whatever content you're putting out there is something real that people are connecting to, that you're helping people, you're serving people, you're giving them something that they need. If you can build that tribe of people, everything else comes easy. The monetization part is the easy part, because they will tell you, your people will tell you what they need over and over and over again. And that is exactly what's happened in my business. And I feel like that's why my business is successful. Build your tribe, figure out who you are, what you're passionate about, and what you have to give other people, what you have to offer, because everybody has something. And the benefit of blogging is that you bring something unique. You bring yourself that nobody else can bring. And if you make it your own, and if you are comfortable with yourself and you're comfortable sharing a little piece of yourself, and people will connect to that. And once you have people who feel connected to you, everything else just comes easily. It doesn't really matter what you have or what you're selling, because your people, you just get to serve your people. And that's amazing. It's amazing. It's the best job in the whole world.